Welcome back. In today's Monday Movie Musing, we're getting a closer look at Vice.
Here's Matt Perrin.
Welcome to another Monday. Wow, it feels like ages since I've been in this seat, but from here on out, it's back to business as usual. There was only one new wide release this weekend, and even though it took second at the box office, I shied away from Escape Room when I saw the PG-13 rating. That, to me, just means a watered-down horror movie. However, award season is in full swing with the Golden Globes happening last night. I've already reviewed the two Best Picture winners from last night, Green Book and Bohemian Rhapsody, so I decided to throw my 2 cents in on another nominee that will most likely be up for Best Picture come Oscar time. So without any further ado, here's my take on Vice. Our movie begins with a young Dick Cheney portrayed by Christian Bale. He drinks too much and fights too much and is getting chastised by his soon-to-be wife Lynn Cheney, portrayed by Amy Adams. Through this talking to, we see Dick decide to get his life together, and he takes his first steps towards becoming a Washington insider. We then skip around through time. We see Cheney in his different roles in Washington. We see how he formed a special relationship with Donald Rumsfeld years ago, which eventually led to him holding the positions of Secretary of Defense and White House Chief of Staff. As fascinating as his rise in D.C. was, we eventually get to the meat of the story as we see Cheney as the CEO of Halliburton being talked into becoming the vice presidential nominee. Of course, this came with conditions, and those conditions allowed him power that few VPs could ever dream of. As the movie progresses, we see Vice President Cheney taking full advantage of his status. He made moves that completely influenced the war overseas following September 11th. He was able to make his company a worldwide powerhouse. He was also able to make decisions that would normally require presidential approval without actually getting it. All in all, we see what kind of politician he actually was, and we as the audience are both shocked and amazed at what he was able to pull off. At the same time, though, we also see his relationships with friends and family that also make us wonder exactly what was going through his head. So, what to say about this one? Right from the beginning, you can tell this is an Adam McKay film. It takes something so complicated that was going on behind the scenes in America and brings it to light and explains it in layman's terms. At the same time, I think it's fair to say that one of my biggest problems with the film is that it was done in Adam McKay's style. Much like The Big Short, a lot of the story is told through narration. There are these amazing actors doing an amazing job, but the action is completely interspersed with an everyday guy telling us what's happening. For as well as Christian Bale and Amy Adams did, I wish they had even more to do. That being said, it is amazing the things that this film brings to light. There were instances that you could have guessed that's how it happened, but then there are things that happen that kind of blow your mind when you find out Dick Cheney was behind it. All in all, the movie is an interesting look at recent history, but it definitely plays to a certain audience. This isn't a fun 2-hour break from reality that you may be looking for in your trip to the theater. Either way, though, it will probably be in the running for the Academy Award as well, so it's usually hard to find bad things to say about films of that caliber. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
All right, Matt, I have another great movie for review coming up for you next week. Make sure you join us.
That's right, and stick with us because Tyler has one last look at your forecast after the break.